As far as your sound and stuff like that, what I picked up from listening to your catalog is a lot of old school influence. Obviously, you know the name of the project, but I heard a lot of samples from like Dre, Ice Cubes, you know, just '90s classic
Yeah.
Cali, early 2000s stuff like that. Tupac. Um, do you want to talk about that? I'm assuming you grew up on a lot of
Yeah,
that
yeah, a
music.
lot of West Coast shit, man.
Yeah.
Period. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was from Southern California, nigga, to Northern California. Like, if it was
Mm-hmm.
West Coast G Funk, that was my mom, my bro. You know what I'm saying? Around the neighborhood, people slapping it.
Yeah.
That's just what was, popping at the time, man. For some reason, as a kid, that's what I was drawn to.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's always been my influence, and uh a lot of the old school '90s and stuff that I remember listening to, like a lot of Too Short shit. Like, people think he was always talking about pimping and slapping the hoes and shit, which was a lot of 90% was, but he had a lot of hits where he was really talking about the struggle, and he was talking about some real shit, like the
Mm-hmm.
get up. You feel me? He was talking about some real ass shit, and that's what kind of drawed my attention, because I'm listening to the story he telling about my life. You feel me? So I I, I hella could relate to it. So I used to like the old school shit where they was talking about growing up in the ghetto and how it was a struggle and trying to survive, and plus seeing that they're rappers and they made it out. That shit showed me some motivation right there.
What I noticed listening to your music as well, like your new music can still get on the gangster shit, but like I feel like from 2022 to now is more conscious. Like you said, talking about the streets in a more conscious way, versus like 2019 and earlier was more like just straight kind of drill and
Yeah,
gangster rap.
facts.
You
Well,
want to talk about that a little bit? What kind of happened?
I say honestly, like to be honest, when I got out CYA, my first songs were Only Lord Knows, Militant Mindset, Closer to My Dreams. All three of those songs, I mean, I wouldn't call it necessarily conscious rap, but they're all raps that was, about the struggle and
Yeah.
about, how my life was growing up, and, you know, uniting together and going against the government, political warfare, shit like that. I was 20 years old speaking shit like that. I just came out of YA.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my first shit, and that's what people were attracted to. And a lot of people, they overlook that, or not overlook it, but they don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go back and look into my catalog, those three songs right there, Only Lord Knows, Closer to My Dreams, and Militant Mindset, you'll see that that's what I always been on. I ain't never just all of a sudden. It was
Yeah.
just more of me coming out to that, because I came straight
Okay.
from YA, and my mindset was like that towards the end of my stay towards YA, and then coming into the streets. So now I'm trying to adapt. I'm still young minded. I am 20, turning 21, but I'm still trying to adapt. So I'm coming out, man. It's fast. Everything moving fast. You know what I'm saying? It only took a little bit of time. I was trying to get myself together. I was going to community college, taking classes, and trying to figure something out with myself. And I was going for a cool minute, but I was dibble dabbling in the streets, going to college. And, before you know it, I put too much energy and time into the streets. And, my energy was on some street shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, like that's what kicked it off. The real soulful shit that you could feel, storytelling shit, the shit that uplift people. That was the core shit of who I really am and how I rap when I came out. I just started losing sight of that because, it was life. You know what I'm saying? So I lost faith at that, and I was turned up. So I mean, you know, uh music is vibrations. You know what I'm saying? You know, it goes a long way. It moves people for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, since I was dibble dabbling and I was rapping about it, you know, it was going hand in hand, and the energies were feeding off each other, and that's why, you know, for so many years I just kept on some turned up shit. But also my fans liked it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They liked it, that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was feeding them. I'm like, all right, y'all like that shit? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm turned up at the time, you know. So I just kept feeding them, you know, and I was going in and out of jail, you know, shit was happening to me. I was taking L's and doing bad. It was all types of shit going down, you know. This is my whole process as far as, you know,
Yeah.
during my time, you know, why I was putting that type of energy in my shit.
Right.
You know, now it's kind of obvious. It's like, I'm 29, I'm about to be 30 years old. I see a lot of older dudes, and I just be like, man, I gotta correct myself, because sometimes I be, you know, doing some shit that I have to catch myself. Like, man, bro, you too grown to be. You can't even post shit like that, or you can't do certain shit because you grown now. I got 3 boys, so I know that my kids gonna watch my interviews and all this shit. So I'm like, why would you want to look like a fucking fool on camera or something that's gonna be up for shit? God knows. And your kids gonna grow up, see it. What if you pass away and shit? You know, that's what they gonna remember you as. So, you know, part of me, you know, trying to put more of a message and stick to the script as far as uplifting and, you know, encouraging young niggas to do right and shit is me being older. You know what I'm saying? I'm growing, you know what I'm saying? And that's needless to say that I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I still go through my own shit. Like I said, I catch myself all the time. I hold myself accountable. I try to fix it. Sometimes, you know, trolls get up under there, you know, I find myself typing back.
Yeah.
And that's just instinct. It's like,
Right.
it's instinct when shit like that. But you got to really think to yourself, like, bro, you grown, you got kids, you with your kids right now, like, type shit. Like, this is a random page, you know what I'm saying? You don't know who the you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm trying to set a better example. I done did all the cash shit, and then I got locked up back to back, did my time, you know what I'm saying? Stayed solid. I'm still solid to this day. I ain't got nothing to prove no more. So it's like, I'm still gonna talk my shit, but it ain't gonna be necessarily like how I was. You know, I was just reckless. You know, I didn't really give a you know what I'm saying? This is recent shit. What? A year I did set the record straight. That shows part of my, you know, my growth as far as, you know, keep speaking on a homie, you know, RIP the homie TYS, you know what I'm saying? And nigga ain't really had no type of, he ain't have no type of involvement in nothing. Of course that shit gonna make me mad. And I don't usually do the shit. So I was like, I ain't finna let this nigga keep speaking on the homie, so I felt like it was my due diligence to pop back. That's what that was. After that, I started realizing, man, I gotta get it together, like, cause just the energy, period, just putting out, I don't fuck with it. I'd rather let them niggas do it, you know, stack up all that negative energy, keep this and keep this and keep talking about this, keep talking about that, keep acting like this. You gonna act like a fool, put out that negative energy. We already know that shit gonna come back and bite you in the ass. So to piggyback off of that, to wrap it up, your question, I'm growing, and that's why I start pumping out a lot of that shit because, you know, I feel kind of goofy if I continue or put too much of my time and energy into the negative shit.
Yeah. To go off that, I mean, set the record straight. Coming up on 1 million views, probably be at 1 million by the time we drop. But yeah, I mean, I was gonna say like after listening to your catalog, you don't really be dissing and doing a whole lot of that, you know. Like
Yeah,
you talk about the streets, what you went through, but I think I don't be noticing. You know, I didn't get that vibe from you at all compared to other artists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that, knowing like everyone loved that song, that video, right? Of course they did, but you're like, nah, I need to focus on longevity and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a good career. How is that tough? Like,
Yeah, it's tough for Shirley because you know it's my fans. It's part of it's part of what you reap what you sow. You feel me? It's part of what I reap. You feel me? Which was putting that negative energy out there and acting like I was acting and fighting back. You know what I'm saying? That was it was a hard thing. You know what I'm saying? Because now the young niggas like, oh okay, now you know what I'm saying? Like they kind of confused. It
Right.
seems hypocritical. Like like damn, you was just on this. But, you know what I'm saying? But I break it down to them like, I'm getting older, you know what I'm saying? I got 3 boys. Like, you got to think about it. If I'm setting the example for them, how am I at home with my boys and I'm trying to teach them everything not to do what I did and go this same route I did? How come I'm not doing that with y'all? You feel me? The little homies, you know what I'm saying? The young niggas.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm trying to, you feel me, spit as much as game as I can, just literally about, nigga, this real street life. This shit is real. And if you listen to a lot of my songs, I talk about it all the time, Talk about young people dying, warfare on the streets, back-to-back killings, counter lights, and mamas have to setting up GoFundMes and you know what I'm saying? All that shit. That shit real. It goes on. I got people closest to me. You know what I'm saying? My young homie, a bunch of my young homies done passed. Good people, you feel me? And shit, I'm grown, old enough now to know that, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you get what you put into the universe.
Right.
And that's needless to say that, someone deserves to die, but I mean, shit. That's why I say you gotta find a balance with this shit, bro.
Right.
And that's how I look at it. I tell the little niggas, hey man, I know you want that turned up shit, but look, I gotta find a balance with it. I can't keep, you know what I'm saying, promoting that and doing that, cause what it make me look like.
It's quick views, but it's not.
Yeah. Plus, ain't no, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. There's a lot of disses that motherfuckers slap to this day, like Tupac and shit. Hit them up. So there's some classic hits. You feel me? That are disses.
We just see that with Kendrick and Drake last year.
Right, there's some classic hits, but it's like, I mean, it's too much time, energy. You know what I'm saying?
Do so much of that.
Yeah.